Now, today in Cartoon Breaking News, the highlights of this video will be basically Kung Fu Panda 4 was leaked, all of it on TikTok. But the fans are mad, but not the way you actually think. More on that later. The second highlight is Daria's spin-off movie was cancelled and also fully complete. Fully explained later on this channel. And the third and final highlight of this Cartoon Breaking News is the fact Jorge, the creator of El Tigre, My 3, and Book of Life, made a project of Babalui and Quick Withdraw adult spaghetti cartoon was rejected by Cartoon Network. That plus so much more later on in this video. Of course, this is your first time on my channel. My name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, the reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, Cartoon Breaking News. And today is Cartoon Breaking News. Of course, before I get started, I do like, if you like where this is going, put a like, comment, and subscribe. One of those things really help my channel, especially how small I am. In fact, if you do put a like, comment, and subscribe, thank you, the people who did. It really helps my channel because how small I really am. In fact, I'm trying to break my goal of 1,000 subscribers. Every time you do subscribe or like, it just sends it get bigger and bigger thanks to you. I am fully of gratitude what you're doing. All of that, let's get started of the Cartoon Breaking News. Now, our first segment for this Cartoon Breaking News is that Kung Fu Panda 4 was leaked on TikTok. The whole thing. The reason why it was sort of leaked, it was sort of the premiere on Kung Fu Panda in Latin America. Specifically, you watch the trailer or the video on TikTok, is everything in Spanish. So yeah, you don't hear the performance of Jack Black. But this is the twist. People were pissed off. You look at that, you think, oh, how dare you ruin all the hard work of the animators. You think that's sort of the moment that people were pissed off. But no, not really. And this is the issue part. That the people were mad was Looney Tunes fans because they leaked Kung Fu Panda 4, but they couldn't leak Acme versus Coyote. They're still waiting for the people who has it to leak it. And yet, they still won because they're still waiting to see what David Sasson will do. And that's just the weird, interesting part. They're sort of mad, but not the way you think it are. It's just sort of a weird twist. And yes, I did see the post of all the leaks. In fact, I've been warning you, if you're on Twitter the last couple of days, you slightly see a spoiler of Kung Fu Panda. And of course, the people who watch it says Kung Fu Panda 4 was okay. It wasn't that amazing. You just sort of, if you're a fan, you'll be semi-satisfied. But besides that, I found that sort of fascinating because later on, a couple of days ago, some fans do say they attempted to hack Warner Brothers to get the leaked movie of Acme versus Coyote. They sort of did, but not the way you wanted. They actually got the script of the movie and some of the posts. One of them is sort of a coyote sort of going in a diner if all the other cartoons tempting to not look at him because he sort of seemed him sort of crazy that he attempted to sue Acme or catch the Roadrunner. That's sort of one of the scenes in the movie. You can see it on the post right now. I just sort of fascinating how people want to see this movie so bad. They do whatever they can to talk about it, remove the attention, whatever project they're actually talking about, to the Acme versus Coyote sort of situation. But besides that, it's sort of kind of funny, interesting. Just be warned, do not go in TikTok for a little while till they take down Kung Fu Panda leaked videos, or watch out in TikTok or Twitter, the leaked images to spoil it. But be fair, I'm the type of person that doesn't matter if you be spoiled, it's all about execution. I see some of the posts, I know what's gonna happen, but it doesn't really ruin the movie for me. It's all about execution. It's all about how you deliver the story. That's at least my opinion. In fact, you see the movie, are you upset, you're happy, they leaked it or not? Tell me down below, let me know. Let's talk about the next segment of this Cartoon Breaking News. Now, this segment is a little disappointing because Daria is reporting that the spin-off Daria called Jodie is now officially cancelled, and they're now moving forward of a game show called The Power Play onwards. I have no idea what that game show is, but Deadline reporting that sort of that's about to happen. But interesting enough, one of the animators from Twitter slash X is sort of sobbing, saying, "Well, interesting enough, the Jodie spinoff movie that actually is fully completed. They just decided just to cancel it. They have everything completely done, and the animators are sort of kind of sulking, like it's sort of kind of awkward. You dedicated 4 years to your life making this film. Now you can't really show it or talk about that much. Yeah, it's sort of sad." But interesting enough, what was the movie about? It's basically a Judy that the final season of Daria, they go into college, and you follow Judy, her sort of life and figure it out in college. Now, you don't know who's Judy. Judy is the type of character who is sort of the Black Daria of the Daria franchise, but sort of more optimistic, but also the Black token character. But the whole movie sort of focused on her sort of dealing with her tokenism, that she is sort of representing the Black experience, even that there are not enough Black people where she actually lives. And that's sort of her focus on her story in the movie. This that was sort of planned till NTV decided to cancel it. The reason why is probably the creators of Comedy Central who bought the rights so they could put it next to South Park. But for some reason, the deal was sort of off nowadays. We don't know why. The Deadline doesn't report the reason why, or the animators. You know, how can I say sure I know why? It's because right now, if you're not noticing or reading the newspapers, a lot of animators are losing their jobs because the company are losing money. So the first people to go is the animators to save the money and save the business, in other words. So this is the reason why they decided to cut off basically the spin-off movie of Daria. And that's sort of sad because some people were sort of divisive. They're not sure the ticket's really good, really bad, because we not see the movie. But the first time they announced it, they sort of mixed reception because nobody knows this movie could be really good or really bad, because Daria was sort of kind of holy of the 90s because how special it is, and they're afraid they kind of ruined a modern telling of the spin-off series of Daria. But for right now, we don't know if the movie was good or not. The only thing we know is it was actually finished. And that's sort of sad because let's face it, you dedicate your life, or at least part of your life, making a movie, and they tell you it's not going to show it, nobody going to talk about it, it's just buried. And that's kind of sad. Hopefully one day they decide to screw it, just let it go, sell it on DVD or digital, or who knows, some animator probably has a copy, got pissed off, will probably leak it. One of the things about to happen, hopefully one of them actually does, to find out if this movie actually good, instead of the curiosity. In fact, you're glad Daria spin-off got canceled or not, or you're sort of not sure, depends how good was the project. Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about the next segment. Now, some fun news, there will be a abridged version of Has Been Hotel by Tomato Sauce on Twitter slash X. For right now, they're just promoting it, that yeah, we are making it, we are not doing the script. For right now, we just sort of people updates till they actually call for voice cast, and also singers slash writers who can actually write songs for this abridged series. And something, if you're a fan of Hello Boss, this is sort of your opportunity just to be more in the community or prepare for this project to drop on YouTube, because it's a abridged series. It's just a sort of a comedy poking on their own fairy franchise. So hopefully this project will be a success, or at least funny or better written, or maybe better songs, or maybe not. Just a very decent sort of project. We just honestly don't know. But if you're a fan, be hyped for this bridge. Hopefully they come up faster than season 2 of the original series. But besides that, are you hyped? Are you not? Or you just don't care? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, another one from X slash Twitter, specifically the channel of Disney slash promos. They're actually reporting that the new anime series from Disney, Pacific for Disney Plus, called Homuhu, I said it right? I'm sorry. That's not my language. I can't say the word completely right, but I showed the poster where I'm talking about. They're promoting the new series that was sort of kind of well received by critics. Even people are normies who watch just Disney series, but you think it will be sort of kind of shield, because you can't really trust tomato sauce of their own sort of ranking. Sometimes you have to really see it yourself. It actually really good, really not. But all the other critics, all people who are not shields of Disney, they have their own opinion, who actually are African descent or actually do live there. They do say the show is actually really good. In fact, it's almost sort of well handled, but at the same time, it's sort of baffling that the first time this new anime series from Disney Plus was released, people were sort of hitting it. When you see the trailer, you can see why, because it just feels sort of a copy and paste, like nothing really that original for Disney. It feels Disney safe, nothing really outsourced. But you find out that all the people who write this show was actually originally where they're actually writing from. They know how to write specific characters of their own nations. So this is the reason why it was sort of well received when you actually watch it, because it actually comes from people who live that sort of Pacific area. They understand the culture and the language and how there's sort of specific ways they do certain things. It feels basically authentic, not flawed or faked. And this is the reason why it was sort of positively received. They assuming maybe get a season 2 because how many people actually is talking about it. In fact, you've seen this series or you don't care about it or you are sort of interested because how many people are talking positive. Even that, I think it's just 6 or 7 episodes. Being known, I did not yet watch this series, but because a lot of people were talking about it, people talking about it but also praising it, that got me curious to actually want to see it. Maybe I review it, I'm not really sure, but later on maybe. But besides that, this is the reason why I want to talk about it, because sometimes a bad trailer kind of ruins the experience actually watching the movie or the TV series, because a bad trailer is definitely deciding when you want to watch it or not. So you have to be very careful what to do. But at the same time, Disney always screws itself over because it's just being too cocky, too proud, too kind of what's the best word? Political. That's the thing. That you're always trying to force something unnaturally while be entertaining. You have to be entertaining that be political. Or this case, sort of Boondocks, that I always reference Boondocks because Boondocks is politics, but it just focus on the comedy of the politics of the black experience. And that's why it's so successful of the Boondocks, because it first focused on comedy and storytelling, then politics. Because the more funny you are, the more people want to hear you because you are funny. That's sort of the logic of how you make a political cartoon. You just sort of be legitimately funny and well written. That's all you need to do. But besides that, you see the series, you think it's sort of overrated, or you think it's actually pretty good, or you are a few dozen people you feel this one has potential. But tell me down below, let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, Katsuka, basically article of animation, they actually are reporting they actually are dropping about 50 animated projects of pilot from European showing in the festival 2024. In fact, you watch their own article, they have a few animated films there if you want to see them. I saw some of them, and some of them are really good. It's something like I hope some of them do get picked up for a animated series or animated movie. I just want to sort of kind of talk about it, just let you aware this is a thing. Just to sort of you want to watch it or read the article, just be known it's a completely different language. You just sort of put Google Translate to change all the other words. Just a FYI, this is a quickly just to let you know this actually exists. Hopefully, maybe I make a top 10, 5 European animated shorts if you want, or top 5. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm not sure I'm going to do it. But it's something you just let you aware this exists. Besides that, let's talk about our next segment. Now, in Cartoon Empire, they are posting that the new Green Sailing Green movie, Space Station, if I said that right, will be released on June the 6th to 8 p.m. It also next day of Disney Plus. Now, I saw the teaser trailer of this Big Sea Green movie that looks really good. It almost seems they wanted to make a musical of this franchise, this movie, that sort of makes sense because it's Disney. Disney always liked doing musicals, and a Big Sea Green makes sense making it a musical, at least in my opinion, because let's face it, there's so much you can do with it, but at the same time, it feels more easier just making it a musical because you can add more filler into it. But once more, honestly, we don't know how good this movie could be, or it could be terrible. But I think the trailer, I do enjoy it. But I also realize Big City Green became sort of The Simpsons in a way. It starts with sort of being normal, kind of chill, basically just a bunch of farm folk moving to the big city. But little by little, it became more epic, more crazy, more up over the top. Nothing really back sort of normal, in other words. That's the best way to describe it. But at the same time, I think that's sort of the charm of Big City Green. And that's saying a lot the person who sort of didn't like Big City Green in the very beginning, Pacific Cricket, because it's not a secret. I never liked Cricket as a character. To later on, they sort of kind of fixed them and figure out how to keep moving forward with the show. But besides that little hiccup, they actually made it really work so actually good. In fact, it's one of the most highest rating on Disney Channel. Every time there's an episode, they close to 500,000, I think, or something like that. So yeah, you can see how popular Big City Green really is. That hopefully this movie really great. It seems very promising seeing the trailer because it does feel they actually did invest a lot of this animated movie straight to TV. But once more, that's not a bad thing. It's not straight to TV or digital is a bad thing. It's all about execution. Who knows? This could be a whole run. In fact, how you felt about the trailer? You are excited as a fan or not? Or you like me in the very beginning didn't like it, but over time I did appreciate it. Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just let's talk about the next segment. Now, this is probably the most interesting news segment from today. It's basically Jorge Artunedes. If you don't know who he is, it's sort of the animator who actually created El Tigre, Mayo of the Three, and Book of Life. And many others in the future is still working on. But besides that, when he was working on Mad TV, they actually pitched a Babalooey, a quick drop with raw spaghetti western. In fact, he showed an image what would maybe look like if his spin-off cartoon was picked up in Cartoon Network. But he says it was never picked up, but he doesn't know why, but a very sarcastic tone because how to describe this spin-off of Babalooey and Quick Drop with Raw is the fact it would be sort of a very violent, over-the-top, sort of senseless sort of comedy. That's sort of how he pitched it. But if you know you're Mexican, usually we have a sort of tone how we say things, sort of a very ironic way. So yeah, he knows why this was sort of canceled because it was sort of how it's pitched very violently. So yeah, maybe he pitched it for Adult Swim, but you have to go in Cartoon Network. So I'm not really know how the pipeline actually works in Cartoon Network. I know it's a completely different section, but this was his pitch and the image of animation he made for the project to pitch it to Cartoon Network. And you know what? It looks pretty fun, especially with his art style that's sort of kind of old traditional sort of Maya kind of art style, if you know what I'm talking about. That's sort of his sort of art style that really does stand out. Whatever project he does, you know is Jorge's work, how he animates. He has his sort of section, his sort of calling card now words, because each animator has his sort of calling card art style, and this is his. So you can see it, yeah, but at the same time, maybe sort of a special or movie. If it's going all spaghetti western, be unironically sort of dark and messed up, should be an Adult Swim with this sort of art style. So you can still keep it sort of an identity of the original quick draw now words. But being known, Quick Draw and Babalooey is very popular in Mexico. So popular, they actually fixed the racism. Yes, you heard me. The original Babalooey and Quick Draw from Hanna-Barbera was kind of racist, especially with Babalooey. If you watch the original first try of the show, they kind of racist of a little bit of Mexican being Mexican. I kind of like, whoa. But they transitioned to Spanish, they sort of fixed it, and Hanna-Barbera realized, yeah, we tweak it a little bit more, not feel less racist, and they did. But besides that, it sort of makes sense that Jorge wanted to do a spin-off or a reboot of Quick Draw and Babalooey because it was very popular in Mexico. I'm kind of disappointed they never attempted to do it, especially with Jorge, how funny he really is, especially all his Mexican culture understanding could actually improve the show or reinvent it or redesign it make it more different and fresh what Quick Want Withdrawal and Popularity was. Once again, in Mexico, this show is very popular next to Top Cat. These two shows can bring a lot of money in Mexico. At least I hope maybe they get a second chance in the future. We just honestly don't know. Do you actually want this show to be greenlit? Or nah, you think that's a sort of kind of fun fact that he tried just because. But besides that, let's talk about the next segment. Now, some found footage has been found of the original Tangle, the original Rapunzel of Disney back in 2005. This is sort of a demo reel found by Lost Art Media posting on their Twitter/X. And you can tell the CGI is still not well done. It's because it's sort of a demo reel. It's sort of maybe what it looks like, maybe not. But interestingly enough, the original voice actor was Miss Witherspoon doing her own take on Rapunzel. But the whole storyline of this sort of demo reel, it was sort of a modern sort of back and forth sort of take of Tangle. That basically Rapunzel is sort of in a modern world, but in the back in the past sort of deal, because her hero, her knight who turned to save her, it was basically a piece of delivery boy who sort of got a situation to actually save her. But once again, it's sort of a one take, because every time they do a animated project, doesn't matter which company does it, there are hundreds of different versions of it. This is the reason why they actually have a huge budget, because they keep trying over and over. In fact, most of the money goes on demo reels or animatics, repeating the same movie, rewriting, retaking, re-adding sort of things. And this is one of probably hundreds of different takes of Rapunzel. I saw the clip. It's just like a 7-minute clip. It's sort of fine. You can hear Miss Witherspoon's voice, but you don't really know her take yet. But it sort of give you a sort of detail that she doesn't believe in magic because the magic does not exist till the magic people reappear, and the clip sort of ends there. They didn't tell you much of this version, but it also tells you what if actually happened, because the original Tangle, what we saw on theaters, is completely different from what this one is. It's how it was sort of told in the post. But besides that, you found this sort of fascinating, because I kind of do, because I always want to know what is this project's take, or all the different projects, because you're always fascinating what was the idea and how many stages there is to change to what we got today. But it's something that's sort of fun to talk about if you like animation. In fact, you found this sort of interesting or not, tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about the next segment. Now, this segment is sort of an update for an animated project called Moai, if I said it right. I am 100% sure I've said it wrong, correct me down below. But besides that, you heard me talk about this couple cartoon breaking news later on, if you remember. This is now an update of this project, because now Kickstarter is open to receive the funding of the goal of $60,000 of this animated project. Now, you want to know what this is? It's basically a Nigerian American moves back to Nigeria to visit her grandfather, because her grandfather sort of died. But she doesn't know why. But she's there to celebrate his grandfather's legacy and experience the culture now, which her culture that she sort of missed. But there is a twist. Her grandfather dies for a reason, because there was sort of a creature who killed them, and now this creature is looking for her, and she doesn't know what, and she doesn't know what to do, and now she's sort of running away, trying not to be caught up on this creature. And that itself seems pretty interesting, basic, but when you see the teaser trailer of this animatic, what they're trying to say, it seems very authentic. It feels a true horror experience, because it sounds very kind of generic, but you see it. It feels very big. It feels very open, but also so closed off. You feel the horror instinct. Of course, they changed the sort of music to feel the horror impact. It's sort of unusual, but once again, different cultures, different way to introduce a animated horror project, different ways to scare people. So yes, I want to see this. Hopefully it does get the money fund, because Right now, they only have, I think, about $6,000 to $7,000 opening Kickstarter. For right now, they have a really good start. They're still asking for $60,000, and I'm hoping they do get funding completely because this project feels so professional, feels fully realized when they want how to do it and how to execute it. It feels they have all the puzzles right in the spot now. Words. It just needs the funding and the backing. That I hope they do because as a horror fan, I am very excited. I just wanted to let you know if you are liking the teaser trailer of the Kickstarter, fund it because we as a cartoon fans must fund our own projects because Hollywood doesn't give a crap. Hollywood, this little us as fans of animation, we have money and they don't care about us. So to make understand, you always fund our indie projects. If you're in the community, try or at least tweet it. If you don't have the money, just tweet about it, talk about it, post about it, do something to be aware this project exists. The more people know, the more chance to get funded or have eyes on it. And that's all you need to know this sort of update. But besides that, if you know about it, you heard about it, tell me down below, let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Now this segment part be short because I'm focused on the trailer of Wow Robot. I'm not giving my reaction, it's just sort of my opinion of the trailer. And this trailer from DreamWorks seems promising. In fact, the whole cartoon community just sort of broke down in talking about how good the animation is and how good the trailer really was. Because the end of the trailer, I kind of teared up because it's just the trailer. How good this is, it depends on the movie, and it feels this was a home run. Especially this actually based on a book series that I never read about it. I heard about it, but I never know is the book any good. In fact, tell me down below if you read the book. If it is good, tell me. But besides that, the trailer seems very promising. In fact, it feels so familiar. It feels like the Iron Giant. If you've never seen that movie, it feels exactly like this new animated film from DreamWorks. Because the Iron Giant kind of go the same tone. That sort of go beyond your own programming. Do not follow what the program actually does. But the trailer feels more lean to sort of be loved by the nature, love the little things, be excited of the small things right in front of you. Never worry about the things that really doesn't really matter. It's the moment, the living, the nature. And that sentiment is just so well done, especially how the animation feels between 2D and CGI. Nothing original, but it's sort of how you actually execute it. That sort of kind of roughness that you can tell is sort of 2D, but because you put 2D, has that sort of kind of warm feeling. That sort of trust me, get near me, I'm fully open to discuss or give a hug. That sort of feeling of warmness with that sort of rough CGI that give that robot, especially the coloring, they give that sort of strength, that sort of brushstroke of art genius that just grabs you so well. Hopefully this will be the next DreamWorks masterpiece because the last one like Megabyte 2 or Ruby that was okay. They were, let's face it, DreamWorks have a lot of L's, but this one feels like a W. I feel they will focus so much on this project. They ignore the rest of the project of DreamWorks. Hopefully this pays off. I hope this was really good. In fact, you've seen this trailer. They give you high hopes of DreamWorks finally figuring out what to do next. Tell me down below how you feel about this new trailer. Do you like it or hype? You watch it in theaters? I probably will because how good it is. But besides that, let's talk about the next segment. Now, this segment I knew existed for a little while, but it sort of got reported back in Deadline that John Wick and Twilight has its own anime series coming from Lionsgate. For right now, they shop it around in Hollywood, whoever actually wants it. Believe it or not, the John Wick franchise we all knew was also having an anime series, also Twilight. It was sort of leaked back in April. But it's something so interesting that the fan base on Twilight always wanted an anime series. In fact, on Deadline's report on their own segment here, they do start this project the very beginning thinking this will be an anime series. You know that usually kind of rough patch if you do that, because usually you have an idea what you wanted, but the studio executives never say, no, we're not going that direction, we're going this direction. It's super rare they actually says, yeah, let's do an anime series. That's how rare there really is. Even that you are the creator or someone have an idea for this project, you want to go the very specific direction, and you still don't have it. It doesn't even says you are super well known. Doesn't mean you get what you actually want. But it sort of is confirmed both Twilight and John Wick will actually have an anime series. The question is, who's gonna buy the project and put it on the streaming service? It's something that Deadline not really sure for right now. Is actually is development. It's just the question is who wants it first. It's something fun because I am hyped for John Wick making an anime series. That itself really makes sense because how John Wick is so much anime while being anime nowhere, because the lighting, the kung fu, the lore, it just makes sense to make John Wick into an anime. Twilight, not really, but at the same time, the Twilight fans actually did want this to be an anime. The fact there are some clips online, some fanfics wanted to be this animation, and what's more, it does make sense this should be also an anime because how fanfic really is. I mean, let's face it, if you know Twilight, the creator made Twilight as a fanfic, then became very popular, decided to sell it as a book, and then it blew up. Yeah, it sort of makes sense, these two projects, to make a anime series. In fact, are you excited for both or just one? For me, I'm more excited for John Wick anime because it just sort of makes sense. Twilight, not really, because I'm not the biggest fan. But if it's done well, hopefully it will not, the original creator not evolve. Let someone who knows how to write do this project. I probably will look it up just for a curiosity's sake. Who knows? Maybe the Twilight one could be well executed for once. But besides that, that's my opinion. How you felt about this news? Are you excited or not really? Or are you waiting to see what the first image actually looked like, the animation? Because you know a project makes it or breaks it is the first couple images, because sometimes the art is not the most important thing, but because how stylized of both projects really is, it's sort of expected to be stylized animation. You have to that sort of specific art style just fits the project. If it doesn't, it fails. The fact, especially how unique this two project really is. But besides that, that's all I can say. Let's talk about the next project or next segment now. Now, our final segment for today will be from Twitter/X. The channel called Viva Caravera Studios are reporting that Rey Mysterio vs. the Darkness will be dropping on YouTube for free the first 5 episodes on the channel of Cartoon Network LA. Of course, this will be completely in Spanish. It's sort of obvious it made for Latin American Pacific people. But besides that, they're also reporting the Rey Mysterio cartoon has to be translated to English dubbed. But this is the sort of kind of ironic thing, only in Mexico, not in America. And this is sort of a weird thing they keep doing for some apparent reason, but at the same time, if you know how the business works, you get it, because they need to sort of do everything before they decide to sell the cartoon with a different network. What I mean is, Cartoon Network Mexico want to sell Rey Mysterio cartoon to American Cartoon Network. Sounds weird, but that's how they make their own money. They have sort of a limit, like this is the money you have to get, or the goal of the year. And the only way they get the money, they pay the other cartoon networks to get their cartoon so they can reach that specific goal. That's why it sounds sort of weird, but that's how they make money through themselves, even that sometimes outsource different cartoons with completely different networks, not their own. But besides, at least give you the idea why they sort of do this. But besides that, if you want to know a review or know if this show is any good, yes it is. I did a review in my channel, just look for it on my channel. But besides that, I got really nothing else to say, just one question. What did your favorite segment of this channel? Or what your favorite thing, or didn't care for anything, or I miss something very specific you think it was very important for me to talk about? Tell me down below, let me know. Let the cartoon community know. I got nothing else to say, just thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.